So you were a successful academic doing interesting research, and then suddenly in the 90s you find yourself on the Federal Reserve Board. How did that happen? I've heard it does happen, but it's an interesting transition.
It's a good question. I never had any policy experience, although I had a stint working as an economist in the International Finance Division of the Fed, and had always been interested in holding a policy post of that sort. But one day the phone rang. I guess it was the spring of 1994. There were several open positions on the Board of Governors, and it was someone from the Treasury asking me if I would be interested. And I asked them to hold the phone for a couple minutes and decided maybe I should talk to my spouse and see how he would feel about moving to Washington and my son. And he said, well, of course we'll make it work. This is something you'd probably like to do. And I got back on the phone and basically said, if you offer me the job, I'd be delighted to take it. Waited a couple of months, and lo and behold, I was nominated, along with Alan Blinder, who was nominated at the time as vice chair. And so I went to the Fed. I thought that the research I'd done and the background I had, were reasonable basis to try to contribute to monetary policy. During the time I spent there, of course, and I'm sure you've had this experience as well, learned a lot about a lot of other responsibilities of the Fed, including supervision and regulation and some of the operational responsibilities that the Fed has. But, I was delighted to be offered the opportunity to do it and learned a lot when I actually assumed the job.